Hey, how's what's everyone? So this is kind of like a fallback to the update that's coming out with the new heroes, and I actually did make a mistake. Tani was Micaiah's book. I don't know how I mixed that up with Oliver's. Oliver, I think in Path of Radiance. I think it was Path of Radiance. I know he comes with Nosferatu, but I don't know if they're gonna make that a tome yet. So these are the skills that Micaiah's gonna come with. Thani. Okay, this one I'm confident is her tome. Okay, so grants resistance +3. And then I explained the whole spiel except I thought it was Oliver for some reason. Okay, so she gets sacrifice, not Oliver too. I don't know. I don't think that's Oliver either. But this is from the data mine anyway. So she gets sacrifice, which is a decent skill. She gets distance defense 3 guard, which is a very, very underrated B skill. It's really underrated. It's actually really good for tanky units. Yeah, sorry, just getting a drink of water. And a drive attack 2, which is not too bad. And her stat distribution is not too bad either. 18 defense, 35 resistance, 28 speed, 35 attack, 35. So she's more in the lines of like a blues Sonic kind of, but obviously a lot faster. But she's more in the lines of a blues Sonic, where her resistance is high and she's a great Blar Raven user with Triangle of Death, especially because she comes with the distant defense seal. In my personal estimation, I would probably pick a plus defense one if you wanted to give her a tanky build, or you could go plus speed, but a lot of units would still be doubling her because she'd hit 31, I think. But with a Triangle Dev Raven set, no red mage is gonna damage her, but I don't think red mages are too popular. The only thing is her tome. Yeah, if you want to use her tome, she's really anti red mage. Not that that's not really a worry for the time being. If anything, I feel like there's a saturation of blue mages, but that's how it is. I really thought well, Nosferatu was a light tome in Path of Radiance Radiant Dawn, so I guess that's why they're blue. Because Nosferatu is usually a dark tome and it's usually red. I was kind of hoping Oliver would be a red unit. Anyways, this is basically to counter the two most annoying movement types in the game, which would be armored and cavalry. If you give her deflect magic or one of those skills, both will be reduced by 30%. I'm not too sure how I feel about this set. It seems okay. It can work in tandem with seals, especially that she comes with a distant defense. The only thing is she does have a low. It's her defense stats not very high. So you'd want her to tank magic. You want her to bait magic users, but bow and dagger maybe not so much. Even if you use a Blar Raven, I don't know, distant defense. You could give her the seal and then you give her triangle of death. She'd be better. But there's a lot of cancel affinity out there, which can get really annoying. Other than that, I think she's this is what I kind of like about the new units. They're not like the Christmas units were kind of game breaking, if the in the sense that they were really high base stat totals. They were unnecessarily strong. That's why I like the New Year's banner, because the New Year's banner, they're not too OP. They kind of match with power creep. They're not nothing stellar about them, but nothing too little. I think they're just saving all of their resources for the anniversary and for February 2nd. So watch out for that. Save some orbs. Yeah, it's interesting how like she's coming with basically a full set. You just have to give her a special skill, which I would probably give her Moonbow or Luna. Glacius, like I do with my Sonic. Those are also pretty good. You can even go with the attack ones, but the attack or damage, but I don't really like using those unless they have a really high attack stat. So we're gonna go and delve into Sothe, who is the first actual, like all the other dagger users have been seasonal. I know that there's been Sakura, there's been Olivia prior to that, but an actual dagger user from the game, like colorless in general, there hasn't been a new one in a really long time, like a new actual unit. Like you have seasonal units like Takumi and Sakura, whatever, but as for an actual character in an actual game, they haven't released one in a really long time. Like archers, I can't even remember the last. Like Halloween Jacob was probably one of the newer archers. I guess New Year's Corin, but then as I really can't think of. I really can't remember who the last archer was released, and the last dagger actual unit release was Jafar, and the healer might have been Jenny or there might have been someone newer than her, but that's pretty much it. Like it's been a really long time since they've released a colorless unit that will stay permanently in the colorless pool. So Soth is kind of refreshing to me. Again, nothing really stellar. He's automatically the best poison dagger user because he has one higher than Kagero. Nothing stellar. Defense doesn't stop. This is kind of like how he was built in Radiant Dawn anyway. The same with Micaiah. She wasn't the fastest, but she did have a nice magic and resistance stat, and her HP was decent. So they kind of followed how her build was in Radiant Dawn, and they kind of followed with that with Soth. He was he was an Oifi archetype, so he's not supposed to be too OP, but he's not exactly Dookie. So weapon skills, Pesh Kats. I really don't remember this weapon. I cleared Radiant Dawn a couple times, but I prefer Path of Radiance myself. But it's been a while since I don't have a working. Well, I have a Wii, but I need my own TV and my own stuff. Don't have the money for that. The best debuff for buffing weapon, a dagger in the game. I don't know, like maybe in general as a weapon is probably one of the best ones too. So you debuff 4 of every single stat. So it's kind of like Frederick all in one, but Frederick is higher debuffs. And then it's like a rogue dagger effect, except allies within 2 spaces for 1 turn. This is really good in tandem with blade users because they don't have to be beside Soth. They just had to be 2 tiles distance. So blade tome users can get that boost. You don't have to stay beside them. You don't have to, you don't have to do, you don't have to like move as one. You can move sort of separately, but as one as well. So overall, he's okay. Like, he's probably one of the better dagger users now, if not one of the best. That's not seasonal or not themed. And he's an okay unit. Peshkat is really interesting because +4 to every for an infantry ground blade user. That's all they need. That's plus maybe plus 16, and the attack would be another 4. So that's all they need. You don't even need to run hone or fortify anymore. Like maybe you do because it requires him to attack, but that's how these things are. I actually would equip him with windsweep. Because I wouldn't want so Glimmer is okay, but I will actually equip him with Windsweep because I don't want a counterattack occurring, and Windsweep is by far is more useful than all the other ones. You can go with Water Sweep too. Basically, when you run that B skill, you're just buffing all the other units, and he's just being a support unit. If you want him to be a little bit more offensive, then you can kind of go with Space Stat because he comes to life in that 3. You could get it like you'd have to get a plus speed one, and then you can get away desperation. I personally prefer a sweep set like a wind sweep or water sweep, only because I think that's just better use of him because he seems to be a lot as strong as he is. He's a strong supportive character. I think that's how he's built. He doesn't really have high defenses. His HP is not exactly gonna stand out too much. He can survive a hit or two, but if you're running life and death, so Spur Attack 2 is not too bad either. It can stack with the boosts that you're already given if he's right beside the unit. So he's really good with other ranged units. Like infantry ranged units, he's really good. Even like mixed teams, he's quite good because man, +4 to every stat, that's almost Aurora level. So this is the only thing it requires is that he has to attack as opposed to performing Artisura who just has to dance. But he's more accessible because he's going to be a permanent unit. They needed this. They needed to come out with a thief that would make it worthwhile to pay ores, especially because January and February are slowest months of sales for retail. And I'd say it's worth spending a little bit of money on some orbs. I'd encourage it, but I obviously don't want. I'm not telling you to do it. That's not. That would not be right of me. So Zelgius is basically the Black Knight. I mean, he is the Black Knight. I think he has a higher base stat total. Yeah, 174. So he's kind of matching the Christmas banner units because I think they kind of needed to do that. He does have one less speed, but I think he has higher stats of everything else compared to the Black Knight, which I think is fair because Radiant Dawn, Zelgius was stronger than the Black Knight in the Path of Radiance for one. Two, there's no point in making him exactly like the Black Knight, so then why would people pull for him, right? Like if they made him exactly like the Black Knight, well, Black Knight's a free unit, why would I bother? So that's another thing that you have to take into consideration. I've seen a lot of people kind of like raging or being annoyed that he's better than the Black Knight, but I'm like, yeah, he has to be the better. Then why would people want to pay orbs if he's the same as the Black Knight? So he comes with Alondite, no surprise. Black Luna, no surprise. So he comes to Fiery Stance instead of Steady Stance, and I don't know how to feel about that. Fiery Stance, obviously, it works in tandem, which is very nice attack. But since he has 33 speed, I'd still pick Quick Riposte. Vengeful Fighter if you have an extra Tharja, but the only I would say Very Fighter is actually not too bad on him. I'm not encouraging it, but I wouldn't say it's not too bad, just because he's just one lower speed. War Powder, it's in the game. Like they that was kind of like Zelgius's not niche. It was one of those things that you always associated War Powder with Zelgius. So, I don't mind War Powder too much. It can get kind of annoying on an armor team, but, playing homage to the games, I don't mind it at all. I know some other people would be annoyed because maybe they never played the game or they don't know anything, about the game. They just want to focus on heroes. But I like the homage to the old games. And it goes to Panic Ploy, so that's nice. Panic Ploy is like a 5-star lock skill, so it's always, and he has nice HP, so it balances out. I don't mind it too much. Anyway, I love this guy. If he was a unit, I wouldn't have wailed for him. Like, it's for the memes, it's for the good times from the game. It's not really because he's a good unit. If anything, he's the worst of the four, but he's a Grand Hero Battle unit, so they expect. Okay, so he comes with Shine Plus, which is not very good. So he's already off to a poor start, but that's okay. Blazing Light, not very good too. Mirror Strike is okay. There's no point in trying to increase his speed. Attack Ploy is actually okay with him because he has a decent resistance stat. I think it's pretty high actually. Yeah, 34. I mean, my Julius is 35 and he uses Attack Ploy Seal, so this is quite good on him. You're kind of stuck into giving him a triangle that Blar Raven says if you want to make use out of this guy. He's kind of like switched to Robin. I think Robin is still the best melee. Like he's still the best triangle that Blar Raven user against melee units, like bows and daggers. But this guy is more into the healers and red mages, even blue mages to a certain degree. I mean, he has a nice resistance stat. It's not something to scoff at. Not exactly the highest attack stat, but he didn't really stand out in the game. He was never really a good unit. So this is also kind of like an homage to the game. You've seen his build. There's no way they were gonna give him like 60 speed. But yeah, I just wanted to converse because I'm really hyped. I don't think I've ever done one of these videos, but I'm still hyped. And I just wanted to have a discussion about the new units coming out. Nothing stands out with Oliver, but that's fine. All that matters is his damage start. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you were kind of enlightened with this discussion. If not, then I apologize. These are just ideas off the top of my head anyway. Like, this is unscripted. Well, most of my videos are unscripted, but whatever. Anyways, that's gonna be everything. I gotta take a shower. Thank you for watching. Later days.